Proverbs 19 verse 17. He that hath pity upon the poor lendeth unto the Lord, and that which he hath given will he pay him again.
Question. Pastor Wind, not long ago, when you were answering a question, it was mentioned that by observing, to understand your motivations and personality. In fact, people often do not know how to observe proactively. Just like when I was a kid in class, most students don't actively observe their teachers, but under the supervision of a teacher, they're gonna sit down and listen. And again, in my own case, after observing how you act and make decisions, sometimes, because I don't get a chance to ask you, it is, therefore, uncertain whether the observation is correct or not. At that moment, I will hesitate. Would it be good if I did that? Am I entitled to do the same thing as Pastor Wind? Of course, now that we know who you are, and to witness the role model you've set for years, but in the past, there have been some people, is not able to observe or hesitate. May I ask, among other prophets and preachers, how do you, by observing, find out what they're right about? They can even separate the wheat from the chaff. Let yourself have their kind of character, to be used by God.
For the word observe, and you know what that means, only in practice does it have its drawbacks. Now, taking advantage of this opportunity, let me clarify. When we observe a group of people, there are two possibilities involved. One is the wrong way. The other is own way. The wrong way means the way you do it. It's not an observation at all. It's a misunderstanding. The more you look at someone, the more misunderstandings you have. This is also a common marital problem. The relationship between husband and wife, is harmony guaranteed if time is long? No. On the contrary, the longer the time, the more misunderstandings. What's the solution? Because that's the wrong way to get along. So, when we look at other people, be careful if you're doing it the wrong way. Like our parents, usually looking at us the wrong way, to not accept our faith, it is also difficult for us to preach the gospel to them. If this belief is true, that means they're going about it the wrong way. Have they yet to observe us? Don't they know us? They are the ones who gave birth to us and nurtured us. In short, the wrong way of looking, it is futile. The other is their own way of observing. For every one of us, you can also focus on different things. Whenever people look at celebrities, successful people, people like Benny Hinn, thousands, millions of people knew him, too, but what did those people observe? What have you done? It turns out it's because they're focusing on the wrong thing. You know, everything we look at, it can be exaggerated, magnified to a stage, overshadowing everything else. And when we observe in our own way, often, with the wrong focus, this is a big problem. How do you get rid of the wrong way of looking, and how do you see it? In particular, the latter is your personal way of judging, focusing on a digression, causing your observations to fall short. In fact, what is the point? The point is, when you look, how do you correct your focus? And with what will you expire your wrong way of seeing? That's all that matters. As the Bible reminds us, but not only do we not know, or even subconsciously do the opposite. Just imagine looking at Hillsong, Integrity Hosanna, that other people can't transform into music momentum, or to multiply the presence of God. Hillsong, Integrity Hosanna's poetry, no one's listening, are they? No way. At any gathering, there are tens of thousands of people. So why can't these people do it? What's more, it can't be done in a lifetime. Why? And the reason is, even if everyone witnesses the same thing together, but in the process, many people are lost and blind, so that nothing can be gained from it. On the other hand, how do you avoid these two ways of looking? That's when you're watching. You can't go wrong by seeking God. If you look for each other's success, you'd be wrong. If you're looking for popularity, you'd be wrong, too, even when it comes to finding each other's technology, including its singing skills, arrangements. This is also a form of misfocusing. Just one gathering, you can already focus on so many things, even if you listen to a song, and that's how I see it. Assuming you learn to play the drums yourself, when you listen to a poem, which areas will be mainly focused on? Drums, of course. As you can imagine, how many things can be focused? It's almost too much to imagine. But if what you're focusing on is the drum, what do you get? That's the problem. Even though you're just like everyone else, it takes 5 or 10 minutes to listen to a song, but what you get out of it, it's totally different. No matter how often you repeat it, the result is the same. Turns out, the point is, do you see God in each other? Don't think this is a strange practice. In fact, the Bible always requires that. If you look at the Psalms, which one of them, did God write it with his own fingers? Not a single one. Proverbs 19 verse 17. He that hath pity upon the poor lendeth unto the Lord, and that which he hath given will he pay him again.
He's the answer in times good and bad. Hope in a crisis, when we grow desperate. He's the comfort that crushes our greatest fears. Seeking we'll find him, it's never too late. Seeking we'll find him, it's never too late.